Good evening and many thanks for joining us live on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajipentu Drame. In tonight's top stories. A recently conducted pre-election opinion poll has revealed that President Barrow's NPP is currently leading ahead of the December 4th presidential elections. A delegation of ECOWAS Parliament's fact-finding mission to the Gambia, led by its speaker, on Thursday met with President Barrow at the State House for discussions. The InterParty Committee over the weekend organized its quarterly breakfast meeting, which brought together political party leaders to develop a common understanding on the IEC's code on election campaign ethics. In sports news, the Unity Football Tournament organized in Brufu Village in Wuli East District ended in a penalty shootout win for Bunkuru FC against Jula FC. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, a pre-election opinion poll recently conducted by the Center for Policy Research and Strategic Studies has revealed that President Barrow's National People's Party is currently leading ahead of the December 4th presidential elections. More in this report by Ansumana Iswanyasi.
Conducted in August, this survey covered data on political and development issues and what the electorate thinks about elections and electoral reforms, voting, peaceful elections, and the impact of COVID-19 on the upcoming presidential elections. Having covered over 900 respondents in 34 districts across all regions in the country. The separate survey revealed that 89% of the respondents are of the view that the recent voter registration exercise was conducted fairly and expressed confidence in the process. The opinion poll results also revealed that about 40% of the registered voters are undecided as to who they will vote for in December's presidential election. However, the incumbent's party, the NPP, leads the polls on intention to vote among the 60% of decided voters, followed by UDP, APRC and GDC. NPP head the poll with 29%, the UDP on 13%, with GMC ranked lowest in the poll with less than 1% of respondents listing them as a preferred choice according to the survey. At the dissemination of the maiden opinion poll results event on Friday, Lamin Damfa, Executive Secretary of the Center for Policy Research and Strategic Studies, says the research was conducted to gauge public perception on issues of national interest and thanked researchers and enumerators for their professionalism.
In the Gambia, politicians measure public opinion by gauging applause or crowd counts or through individual contact or citizen. However, with this opinion poll survey, it can be used to construct a picture of public opinion on issues over time at different intervals, which produces a bandwagon effect.
John Charles Njai, chairman of Tango, and Tabu Njai Sar, women's rights coordinator at Action Aid the Gambia, says conducting such surveys shows our democracy is growing. The Tango chairman enjoined separatist officials to remain steadfast. Research, he adds, is important. However, he cautioned against allowing partisan interests to affect their work.
Please do not have partisan interest in doing your work. Be neutral when it comes to support. Be neutral. You may have your individual likings for candidates and parties, but let it not affect your work. Be professional to the core. Because you see, with this, I can tell you, you are going to be attacked, you are going to be maligned, you are going to be called partisan. But what I have learned in this little nation of ours is that if everybody tells you you are supporting one party or the other, then you are doing the right thing.
No such an initiative has ever been shared with. And that being the case, we go by our traditional voting system and we follow sentiments. We vote not basing it on facts, but we vote basing it on religion, basing it on geographical area, basing it on ethnicity, basing it on soft arguments, such opinions rather than facts.
Another interesting fact revealed by the survey is that the second most important agenda for the electorate is the introduction of term limits, with 43% of respondents supporting term limits. This is the first dispatch of 2 pre-election opinion poll surveys to be conducted, with a third expected to be held after the December 4th elections. Answana Isonyasi for QTV News. Conducted in August, this survey covered data on political and development issues.
A delegation of ECOWAS Parliament's fact-finding mission to the Gambia, led by its speaker, on Thursday met with President Barrow at the State House for discussions. The meeting with the President followed meetings with other stakeholders, and the delegation expressed satisfaction with the Gambia's state of preparedness for December presidential elections. Modula Minchoy reports.
The ECOWAS Parliament delegation is here on a fact-finding mission on the electoral process and the Gambia state of preparedness 2 months away from the December presidential elections. After visiting the Independent Electoral Commission, the Chief Justice, the National Assembly Speaker and civil society organizations, the delegation met the President. The Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Sidi Mohamed Tunis, updates the press on the outcome of the delegation's meeting with President Adama Barrow.
And so far we are very, very satisfied. The last meeting that we have had is that of His Excellency the President. The President has assured me that under his leadership, he will ensure that there will be free and fair elections come 4th December 2021. He has also assured me that whatever the outcome of the result is, he will accept it.
The purpose of this mission is to ensure a free and fair electoral process for the December presidential polls. The information gathered during this fact-finding mission will determine the West African regional body's level of assistance to the Gambia's upcoming presidential elections.
ECOWAS has already started our support. Financial support we are giving. We are also giving technical support. We have our election experts from the ECOWAS Commission. They have been here already, and they have been giving support to the Independent Electoral Commission. Financially, ECOWAS has also provided at least $500,000 to support the process. So generally, ECOWAS is a very, very important partner with the people of Gambia.
The Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament concludes his press briefing with an appeal to all Gambians.
So my appeal to the Gambian people is to learn from what has happened in other countries. Gambia is a very small country, but very, very industrious. Let us maintain the peace that we have here. Let us don't allow people, especially us, the politicians, to lead you into chaos.
This year's Gambia's presidential election is in the international limelight, who are taking proactive measures like the ECOWAS Parliament's fact-finding mission for a successful, peaceful, free and fair elections in the Gambia. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Moving on, the InterParty Committee, IPC, over the weekend organized its quarterly breakfast meeting, which brought together political party leaders to develop a common understanding on adhering to the IEC's Code on Election Campaign Ethics. More in this report.
The InterParty Committee, IPC, was established by political parties as a forum for dialogue and cooperation to promote adherence to Electoral Commission's MOU and Code of Conduct, national reconciliation, and to build consensus among political parties on contested political and electoral issues. At these quarterly breakfast meetings held in Janjanbureh, CRR, on Saturday, the UNDP country representative says
peaceful elections are outcomes that are dependent on the behavior and character of political parties and leaders before, during and after the elections. It is therefore incumbent among the political parties in the Gambia under the auspices of the IPC to continue working together with the strengthen democracy and sustain peace within the framework of electoral processes.
Joseph Colley, the IEC Vice Chairman, expressed gratitude and acknowledged the important role IPC is playing to maintain peace in the country.
Each and every political party has an obligation to contribute meaningfully towards the achievement of the peace and development of this country.
Reaffirming that registered political parties in the Gambia, through their leaders, have subscribed to the Inter-Party Committee's Memorandum of Understanding and Code of Conduct to promote peaceful political dialogues, credible electoral process, and foster national unity, and understand the imperatives for its leaders, officials, and supporters to adhere to the terms of the MOU as well as the IEC's Code on Election Campaign Ethics.
At the event, political leaders again committed to peaceful elections and dialogue during the campaign period by signing the Janjanbureh Peace Accord, which is geared towards the maintenance and promotion of peace before, during, and after the electoral cycle. Lami Diba, party leader, National Convention Party, says peace is priceless and there is no country that can develop without peace. Dr. Ibrahim Jan, party leader, All People's Party, urged the media to promote and speak out about the Janjanbureh Peace Accord.
Make sure your media houses, your staff are aware of this document and emphasize the importance of it.
Musa Bachili, party leader, urged Gambians to change their attitude.
We are the problems. We Gambians, we are the problem. We need to change our attitude. If the attitude change, peace will reign. Just saying peace, peace, if the attitude is not changed, we ain't going nowhere. Let's not sugarcoat issues. Our problem is ourselves.
Dr. Ismail Shise, party leader, Citizen Alliance, also urged all political parties to have their own code of conduct.
The party leaders are committed to ensuring a peaceful election, but the problem is the grassroots. So therefore, I would suggest that political parties also develop their own internal codes of conduct that can be internalized with the party militants so they know that such codes of conduct exist.
For QTV News, I am Ibrahim F.Y. Jallo.
From that story, we will go for a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more stories, too. Stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information. Share it.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, a 5-day refresher training on interpretation of weather and climate information for weather forecasters in the Gambia ended on Friday at the Old Airport Terminal in Yundum. Aliu Sise was there and he now reports.
The training was funded by the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, under its Adaptation of Agriculture to Climate Change project funded by the Global Environment Facility to strengthen the skills of these weather forecasters to provide timely and reliable early warning information using modern techniques. Tijani Bojang, Chief Forecaster and Head of the Central Forecast Office, clarifies that the training was organized at the airport for participants to have easy access to the necessary meteorological equipment to enhance the practical aspect of the training. Mr. Bojang believes there is a need to organize regular training to build the capacity of weather forecasters for accurate and reliable information.
Like the training is necessary because anytime we produce the forecast, we get comments from the general public. Anytime we send the warning, we get comments from the general public that you need to adjust on this, you need to do that, you need to adjust that, and as well as the language barrier in terms of decoding from the meteorological jargons, that is the scientific language, to a layman. All these are challenges. But through the week, we have gone a lot with the participants, the forecasters, by looking at our shortcomings, by adjusting ourselves to the international standard, and also getting through with some of the changes that WMO have effected in the past This training has given us that opportunity. And then for so we have all gathered a lot. And this training was very, very useful, very, very important as far as the service of the meteorological in this country is concerned.
Peter Jiba, Chief Meteorologist and Head of Meteorology Division, deputizing for the Director of Water Resources, says such training is timely due to the evolving techniques of issuing weather information.
In view of this, the Department of Water Resources conduct refresher trainings for staff of the meteorological services annually to ensure that the Gambia maintains the standard services as prescribed in the WMO Convention. This year, we are grateful for the FAO intervention as the department is financially constrained. Training of weather forecasters on practical issues is very important for the fact that weather and climate information they generate is crucial for decision making, economic development, and saving of lives and properties.
Karanta Sise, the FAO's project coordinator for adaptation of agriculture to climate change, says the training is among the key components of the project.
As I said, a component of the project provides for an assessment of vulnerabilities, risks, and the dissemination of timely information to users at all levels. In order to successfully adapt agriculture to climate change, information about vulnerabilities, risks, and the impacts on agriculture systems need to be made available for better adaptation planning. Assessment of vulnerabilities and impacts and the provision of early warning for food security in the Gambia are crucial in this drive.
On behalf of the participants, Mam Sohna Seka expresses hope that the knowledge acquired will enhance their service delivery. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
250 Army personnel will be traveling to Turkey for further military training as part of preparations for deployment as a quick reaction force to UN missions. At a ceremony on Friday at the Army Training School in Fajara, the Minister of Defense and the CDS paid farewell to the soldiers. Babukasi tells us more.
After 3 months of basic Turkish language course, these soldiers, members of the Quick Reaction Force 2, are going for 3 months intensive training in Turkey. Currently, Quick Reaction Force 1 is being trained by the British Marines. Amadou Bojang, the QRF-2 contingent commander, said the training is necessary and thanked the Gulf High Command for this rare opportunity.
Military, as one of the elements of national power, is used by the state to measure its relative strength in the international community. One of ways to do that is training. The contingent is one of the contingents been selected to train in Turkey. We have gathered here some time ago and we have undergone the Turkish language course. 250 went through this rigorous training and it was successfully conducted. Currently, men and women seated before you here have basic idea and knowledge on the Turkish language.
Lieutenant General Yakuba Edrame, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, challenged the soldiers to make good use of the opportunity to equip themselves and be ready for deployment.
And equally, we want to thank the Turkish government and the Turkish people because they're using taxpayers' money to take care of you, to airlift you from Gambia to another country with all arrangements put in place, waive visa fees. You'll be fed, you'll be clothed. Not only that, make your stay comfortable. Like my father always tells me, and I believe it's true for you also. Wherever you are, you have the determining role to play. If you suffer, it's because of yourself. But if you are amiable, openness to people, you'll have a very pleasant stay in Turkey. And I can assure you, Turkish people are good people. Over the years, I want to say we've had a very sustained relationship with the Turkish Armed Forces. And I want to thank my counterpart. Without hesitation, when this issue was discussed, he said to me, give me 2 weeks maximum. Barely 1 week, I received information to say, you'll be leaving in October. That was quite commendable.
Sheikh Omar Faye, the Minister of Defense, congratulated the contingent, adding that the training is in preparation for upcoming UN missions.
I wish to thank the Almighty Allah for witnessing yet another August day in the ongoing efforts of our reform programs. May I take this opportunity to convey best wishes from His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and all Gambians. And you must inculcate now a sense of discipline and commitment to your assigned duties. So what I heard from your commanders, it looks like I'm not going to be worried with that, because we were promised that this is a team that will be exemplary, so we don't foresee those things. Yes, it is true, Hadama Dingom and Timba, but we will do everything possible to make sure that we keep together and keep to the standard that the Gambia is known for around the world.
The training is fulfillment of a promise by the Turkish government to train 500 GAF personnel in Turkey to equip them with the requisite peace operation skills prior to deployment on UN peace operation missions. These men and women will depart Banjul International Airport in the early hours of Sunday. Babukar Si, QTV News.
Let's take a quick look at some interesting sports news. The Unity Football Tournament, organized in Brufu Village in the Wuli East District, ended in a penalty shootout win for Bunkuru FC against Jula FC in a keenly contested match. Alhaji A.F. Jallo was there and he files in this report.
The tournament was organized by the village and the surrounding communities to promote peace and foster social cohesion among the youth. Two teams from the same communities met in the final, attended by supporters of both sides. The match ended goalless after a closely contested 90 minutes, leaving the contest to be decided on penalties. The shootout saw Bunkunkuru FC successfully converting 3 and Jula FC 2 of their spot kicks 2. At the final whistle, supporters took to the center of the field in a jubilant mood to celebrate the successful completion of the peace tournament. Both teams' captains expressed delight for a successful completion of the tournament, which was free of violence.
Alhamdulillah, peace. So
thanks to Allah, the match ended peacefully. We began in peace and ended in peace. Everything went on successfully. No crimes, no injuries. Football is not easy. Lamin Dabo, the organizing secretary, calls on the Ministry of Sports and GFF to help develop football pitches within the region to harness the potentials of young people.
Really, it was a tough thing because putting together these young talented players is always a tough game, because you have people with different roles and you have people with different mindsets. But we have endeavored since last year to see that we have a lot of talented players in the village and the surrounding villages. A lot of things has to be done, because if you look at the pitch, it is very terrible. Sometimes you will see a player running and fell down because of the pitch is very, very bad. The situation in the pitch is very bad. We have some erosional roads. We have some, particularly in this raining season. When it comes to the drying season, if a player falls down, automatic injury, because it is always a hard surface. And secondly, we need some materials like this nets. We do not have a net. We will have to go and then borrow a net from a a village nearby or somewhere. Even the goalpost, we do not have it. And we do not even have a football field.
Jula Badabo, the manager of Jula FC, thanked QTV for covering their games, despite the distance from Basse to Biref.
Football la Carola, ning ayatari alaya Kenya. Laftale dinding le nyaato ta soto o nyaato ta dum mbakata la ngbenna label be stralale te wo fe nabe kele la nyaato tati kom kastati atella site follow QTV.
We are indeed happy to see one of the giants television house in the Gambia coming to showcase community tournaments. This is what we call development. We pray that Allah guide and protect you. Our people in the diaspora will be able to see match on TV and they will know that we are doing our best. We also want to appeal to partners to support us because we are confronted with a lot of challenges. Events of this nature harnesses the power of sports to bring young people together in a common pursuit, thereby promoting reconciliation and unity.
Before we end, here's a recap of our main headlines. A recently conducted pre-election opinion poll has revealed that President Barrow's NPP is currently leading ahead of December 4th presidential elections. A delegation of ECOWAS Parliament's fact-finding mission to the Gambia, led by its speaker, on Thursday met with President Barrow at the State House for discussions. The InterParty Committee over the weekend organized its quarterly breakfast meeting, which brought together political party leaders to develop a common understanding on the IEC's Code on Election Campaign Ethics. In sports news, the Unity Football Tournament organized in Beautiful Village in Wuli East District ended in a penalty shootout win for Bunkuru FC against Jula FC. Well, that's it from me in tonight's edition of the news. Thank you for watching and have a good evening.